Alright, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the two-stroke turbo channel, the best channel on the internet. Behind the shop here, we've got some green grass that Stella loves to eat because she's part billy goat. You guys love tuning in to watch her do her thing. Usually she's chasing squirrels or barking at a coyote. We live in a pretty rugged area here. I gotta give you a little background information. There's a big creek that flows behind my shop, and I think a kayaker just went by. Yeah, somebody just went by in a kayak. It's pretty cool, but we got beavers. We got a beaver problem. Beaver took this tree. Beaver took this tree. Just took this tree, and you can see the tree fell in the water. I've been putting up metal barricades to keep the beavers from eating my trees, and the beaver actually tried to gnaw on this one. This is a big one, and I actually hope he takes that one because that's a rotten snag that's gonna fall. So that's the animal report from the shop. Oh, there goes a wild animal right there. Look at that wild animal. Wild animals. We're gonna get back to the cars. We are working on our 48 Peugeot 202. I got the doors working. I think I explained that yesterday. I'm having an issue with the customer's door panel on this one. I can't keep the clips in. I got to redo this, but I got the handles working, I got the locks working, I got the windows to wind up and down, both driver and passenger side. I had to order parts from France to make this work, but it's coming along. This handle was completely broken. Stella, why don't you go get a beaver? That's what I'd like you to get. Those darn beavers. Those beavers, I'm going to go off on a rant here. Really. Oh, okay. Enough on the beavers. This is our topic of the day. It's another animal car. It's a Panda. It's a Fiat Panda from about 1991, I think, or two. This car came in the shop a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. Guy imported it recently from Italy. Looks really nice. His main goal was to take it skiing. And if you see there on the roof, on our roof rack, he's got his vintage ancient skis there, and he has. We got this car ready for him for the winter season the tail end of last summer, so he could drive it to the winter ski resort here near Portland, Oregon. And he drove it to the mountain 5 times, and he tried to get it stuck. And he had a wonderful time. He's put some miles on it, and he brought it back today to prepare it for next year, which is kind of crazy, and to make sure nothing's falling apart. But it is a 4-wheel drive Panda. It is the coolest little car. As you can see right there plainly, it's 4x4. Very unusual car to see here in the United States. In other countries, not so much. I'm sure Italy, these things are a dime a dozen, but here, very, very rare. It has a unique little push button. Kind of got to get your hand just right, because well, I guess your right hand would work better. Yeah, it's sort of an odd door handle, but it's what it is. Beautiful little car. Has a tartan interior, which means it's got striped seats. It has power windows. It is fuel injected, and just a neat little car. We're going to take it for a drive. He wants me to listen for some noises. Look at that. All lights up. It is a stick shift, and I think it has a granny gear. Like first gear is really, really low. Start it up for you. Just like that. Hers. Has an altimeter and an inclinometer, a clock, various little gauges and doodads. Really a neat little car. Love this thing. So we're going to do a full inspection on it. Oh, and there's a little Panda that rides in the Panda. It's cute. Kind of a Levi, I don't know if you call it Levi interior. It's denim maybe? I don't know. Vents are way up in the dash. Neat car. Really like this thing. So I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to do a full inspection. Oh, I think he put some fog lights on it. Yeah, that's right. He did. Let's show you those fog lights. They're not for the weak of heart. Those are some fog lights. All right, so we got the hood open and we're looking at our little Panda engine. The spare tire is actually not flat and almost larger than the engine. This is your heater box, your battery, your overflow for your coolant. The engine is just right there. Cute little thing. I think it's a 1.3. I could be wrong on that. And oh, look, it's got the service sticker from Italy. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it means the timing belt got changed, which is great. I want to do a kind of an inspection on this thing before we take it on the highway or drive around. He wants me to drive it on the highway and listen for odd noises. Battery, I don't know if I like that little clamp, but I think it's going to be okay. All right, cute little thing. Let's get it up in the air. Let's do an undercarriage inspection. Just to make sure nothing's going to fall off. It's a cute little car. I love this thing. Straight as a whip, too. I mean, that door side of the car is straight. Attention, there's a wild animal in the shop, and she's camera shy. Oh, gonna lay down right there. That just goes to tell you what the weather is like outside. It's going to be 68 today, which is nice. Okay, back to the weather report on this Country Club Fiat Panda. Oh, not so good. I checked the oil when I first brought it in before I was going to take it for a test drive. It had nothing on the stick, like nothing. So I'll put that back down in there. So I filled her up with some good old Dino juice. Took almost 4 quarts. That thing was a ticking time bomb on the oil. I got to talk to the customer. Just doing a preliminary inspection. You can see the red rock. That's volcanic rock from the Oregon Cascades. So he has indeed driven this thing a lot up to the mountain. But if you look a little higher, we've got a broken boot right up in here, and we got a leaking shock. So that's not good. That's just the first thing. Let's go around the Stella. You're right in the way. Let's go around the car. Let's do a little undercarriage inspection. If you're not aware, this Fiat Panda has a solid rear axle, in other words, a straight axle with leaf springs, and it looks like we got some leakage at the pinion. Let's see. Oh boy, we do. We've got a leaky pinion gear. It's leaking all over the gas tank. It's leaking all over the bottom of the car. Take note of that. Let's see. We might have to fill that up or check it out. Okay, well, we got some work to do. We need to get up here and look at the transmission. It's a 2-piece driveline. I think the transfer case is right here, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a transfer case in there? I'm not sure where the transfer case is. Oh, maybe that's the transfer case. I know it's got a, oh yeah, so there's the shifter. It goes forward to the transfer case. It's right on the back of the transmission. And we're going to check the transmission oil because now I'm all freaked out because this thing had no engine oil in it. Oh, we've got a bad bushing here. Look at that's not so good. He wants this thing to be in tip-top shape, and I don't blame him. It's a great little car. Okay, we're going to keep looking around, but pretty neat. It's got independent front suspension and a solid rear axle. Neat little 4-wheel drive car. Okay, I promised you guys a ride in the little Fiat Panda. Unfortunately, Stella, my shop dog, is not allowed to ride in a nice little Fiat Panda because she'll get her white shedding fur all over it. So, sorry Stella, you gotta stay here while we go for a little ride. We're gonna close the gate. Oh, I know you wanna come. Sorry, girl. We'll be back for you. We'll be back for you someday. In the meantime, let's adjust our gander to this beautiful little Panda. I've been raving and roving about it all morning long, and I have to say a couple things. It had no oil in it. The transmission fluid was just nasty, like black with a little bit of shavings. The rear end oil wasn't too bad. So it got a good service. Checked the belts, checked the hoses, checked the coolant, checked the brake fluid. The guy was like, just give it a once over. And I'm so glad that I changed the oil before I took it for a road test. We would have ran out and it would have seized the motor. I know it. It just, the engine only holds 4 quarts and it took 4 quarts to fill it up. Nothing came out. So all the lights, belts, brakes, tires are aired, shocks, everything's good. Let's take this thing for a drive. You just gotta love this little door handle. It's so cute. Interior is beautiful. Stella cannot ride in here. Her white hair would get all over everything. So we're gonna buckle ourselves in. I'm gonna grab my seatbelt here. You can see the manual mirror there on both sides. Let's put the buckle into the buckle holder. Manual mirror for the driver. Manual mirror for the passenger. Only one wiper blade. Uno Play-Doh. Light switch, four-way flashers, rear grid heater for the window, and washers, and then fog lights, and a clock. And the clock is right. So let's get this party started. It is a 5-speed. Turn the key on. It's fuel injected. No tachometer. We do have a coolant gauge, a fuel level gauge, and our speedometer, which is in kilometers an hour. I must let you know that, so you don't think we're going super fast. Take the brake off. That is our 4-wheel drive transfer case actuation lever, and if I recall, this has a very, very low first gear. We'll find out here. Make sure there's nobody coming behind us. Look in our rear mirror. Nope, we're good. Well, it feels normal. It's a little low. We've got a great little Italian horn. Oh, that's cute. Make sure there's no cars coming. There are not. And we're going to pull out. We're going to put it in second gear because I remember, yeah, that's better. Oh, it's zippy. That's nippy, little guy. He said that going from second to third, it would grind a little bit. And I bet you that's because of the terrible transmission fluid that was in this thing. It revs up great. Fourth gear. Oh, short wheelbase bounces you all around. That's crazy. And it's got the muddy tires on there, so it wiggles. You can feel the straight axle in the back. Not very compliant, very bumpy on this concrete surface. Back down into second. We're going to do a loop here. Make sure there's nobody coming. There's not. And we can start out in second gear. Revs up, nice. Third gear. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. Changing the transmission fluid. Fourth gear. Oh, the suspension is a little bouncy and jouncy, and the short wheelbase and the straight axle make it I don't want to say inferior, it's just different. It's a little harsh. So we're going 60 kilometers an hour, which is about, what, 30, 35. That's pretty good. Ooh. Try our brakes out here. Brakes are good. Turn signal. And we're going to turn back into our shop area here. Cherry for my neighbor. Cherry blossoms are blooming. Brakes are a little squeaky. What a fun little ride this thing is. Put the brake on, take my belt off. Oh, you gotta love this car. Love this tiny little handle to get out. Look at this. Click. Power windows. So nice. So nice. And we still got our skis on top. That's really a fun little car to ride and enjoy. Love this little thing. Stella, let's see if you're waiting for us like a good puppy dog. Okay. Oh, there you are. What a good girl. Come here. Come here. You want to say hi to the YouTube fan club? Everyone loves you, Stella. Oh, that's a good puppy. Yeah, that's a good girl. You're bummed because you didn't get to go for a car ride. Checking out that Fiat? We've got two Fiats in the shop now. A Fiat 500 Coupe, as you might call it, right next to our Fiat Panda. Which one would you rather have? I think I know. It's not this one. It's this one. I like Fiats. I like them old and I like them classic. I like you too, Fiat, but just not as much.